Thanks for joining me. Really do appreciate it. All right, so in this live stream, we're talking about SSI, okay? So that's the focus of the video, SSI, Supplemental Security Income. I know that a lot of you here in the community receive these monthly benefits from Social Security. All right, so just a couple days ago, I had a loyal subscriber here on the channel reach out to me via email with some questions on the behalf of this person and some of their neighbors within their building, okay? So for the privacy of that person, I'm going to leave their name out of this, but they know who they are. Hopefully they're watching. I know that they are usually on live streams. But anyway, they had some interesting questions around SSI. So I said, I'll make a dedicated video about that because these are some actually really good questions. So I thought, you know what, let's just jump on a live stream here and talk through the details about this. Okay. SSI, just want to really reiterate that really quickly so there's no confusion about it, and just want to make it very clear. Okay, so first off, let's talk about a few things just super fast here. What have lawmakers done so far this year? Either they've officially done or they're literally in the act of working on right now around Social Security and seniors. Let me just rattle off a couple things. Now, if you've been watching the videos here on the channel for a while now, you've certainly heard me talk about this because this is something I've covered in other videos, but let's just really quickly run through the list here. It's not a super long list, but there certainly are some different things. Okay, number one, back on January 5th, okay, it was a Sunday, January 5th, the president signed the Social Security Fairness Act into law. Now, that focused just on Social Security beneficiaries, okay? Not SSI, retirement, survivors, spousal beneficiaries. These beneficiaries benefited significantly from the Social Security Fairness Act. I covered it extensively. It was only about 3.2 million people, but you get the whole deal on that, right? Beneficiaries got a lot of extra money. The average person got a lump sum payment of just under $7,000. The average beneficiary got an increase to their benefit of about $360 per month forever. It's crazy. A lot of money. About $14.8 billion was sent out for about 2.2 million people as of about a month ago. So it's a lot of money going out. Okay, so that was number one. That helped out a bunch of people. Now, right now as well, this is not passed yet, just being 100% fair with you, but it is out there, and lawmakers will be passing this in the next few weeks here, okay? It's like for sure a thing. I mean, it's for sure a thing, but my point being with that is that it's like for sure going to get passed in its state, current state, which is the $4,000 bonus deduction for seniors. Now, technically, yes, SSI beneficiaries, provided they would be 65 plus, would also be able to take advantage of this. Quick side note, quick disclaimer, nope, not tax advice, not accounting advice, not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. I'm not your CPA, I'm not your accountant, but in general terms here, yes, SSI technically, if they're 65 plus, could possibly take advantage of this deduction as well. It's not a check, it's not an increase, it's a deduction. Big difference. I covered the details about that in separate videos a few days ago. Okay, so those are a couple different things that are out there, okay? Now, let's get into the question here. Again, I just wanted to give you that quick little short list there of a few things that they've either done or in the process of working on right here, right now, for seniors, Social Security beneficiaries, things like that. This whole idea of no more taxes on Social Security, that's in the wind. I mean, it's gone at this point. They're not doing that, even though they told us for so long, no more taxes on Social Security, right? They're going to eliminate that. Well, that's not the case anymore. They're replacing it with the $4,000 deduction. Okay, now let's get into the questions, okay? So I'm going to paraphrase a little bit here what the questions were that were brought into me via email, again, from a loyal subscriber just a couple days ago who reached out and said, hey, myself and some of my neighbors here in my building would love to get your feedback on this. What do you think about this whole thing? Okay, SSI, not technically Social Security, but it is administered by Social Security. I know it sounds weird, like what? Doesn't really make any sense. It is, okay? So SSI benefits and the money that is paid out to beneficiaries, which by the way, right now, there's about 7.4 million SSI beneficiaries right now, about 7.4 million, okay? Now, SSI money is not coming out of the trust fund, but rather it is paid out of federal general funds, like just general tax revenues, general federal dollars. That's where SSI is paid from. It's administered by Social Security. Okay, does that make sense? All right, now here's the thing. The person reached out, and again, just kind of paraphrasing, suggesting, okay, They did some different things for Social Security. They passed the Fairness Act, doing some other things here for Social Security beneficiaries. Does this mean that they're going to be forced? Will they need to pass the SSI Restoration Act, which is, in my opinion, possibly the best piece of legislation out there, revolving around any benefit administered by Social Security? Obviously, there's a ton of them out there. I could rattle off a list of probably 50 different pieces of legislation. It'd take me a minute to think of all the names, but I could rattle off probably a list of 50 pieces of legislation that are out there to reform Social Security, to raise benefits, to eliminate taxes. I mean, the list goes on and on. Everything you can think of, they've proposed it. But in my opinion, the SSI Restoration Act is probably the best of all of them. It's just focused on SSI, but it really does a lot of things, and it has a lot of really good provisions within it. It's not passed, still a proposal at this point, but the person was asking, would they be forced to pass the SSI Restoration Act for SSI beneficiaries, considering what they've done for Social Security beneficiaries? Really good question. And like I said in the title, fair is fair, right? Well, unfortunately, not in this world we live in anymore. There's not really such thing as fair anymore, right? By the way, well, let's leave that out. Anyway, I was going to say something else. Let's just leave that out of here. It doesn't really matter. Okay, but anyway, so would they be forced to pass it? The simple answer is no. They're not going to be forced to pass it, but let's talk about it for a second because, again, fair is fair, right? Now, I've run some numbers on this just super fast here to understand what would this cost on a monthly basis, what would it cost on an annualized basis over the course of 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, indefinitely, things like that, for SSI beneficiaries. Okay, now there's a lot of different ambiguous numbers here. The reason that I say that is because everybody's getting a different benefit amount. But what I'm doing is that I'm basing it off of the maximum SSI benefit for an individual. Okay, so I ran some numbers based on the maximum benefit for an individual of $967 right now for an individual. Okay, so one of the provisions within the SSI Restoration Act is to raise benefits up to the federal poverty line. Really like that one. That's a good one. Federal poverty line is a little over $1,300 per month as a household of one. The maximum benefit for an individual on SSI is $967. The difference is $337 from maximum benefit to the federal poverty line is a difference of $337 a month, okay? Assuming that somebody gets, or I should say, assuming everybody gets the maximum benefit, here's what the math that I ran on this. $337 multiplied by, 7.4 million people. $337 multiplied by 7.4 million people. It comes up to $2.493 billion a month. Okay, so let's just round it up to $2.5 billion a month, okay? Just for easy mathematical purposes and apparently a little easier for me to say, right? Let's just round it to $2.5 billion a month. That's $30 billion a year. Let me remind you, the reconciliation bill that they're working on right now is multiple trillions of dollars, like $4 trillion. Just figure out how many times 30 billion goes into 4 trillion. It's a lot of times. It's like a lot of times, right? Point being, to you and me, $30 billion is a lot of money. $2.5 billion on a monthly basis is a lot of money. But to them, an overall federal spending, $2.5 billion a month is absolutely nothing. It's nothing. $30 billion a year, again, is absolutely nothing. That is literally nothing to the federal government, okay? My point behind that is, okay, they're not forced to come in and reform SSI. Just because they changed other benefits doesn't mean that they're going to come in and change SSI benefits. It would be nice, and like I said in the title, fair is fair. It would be nice. They're doing all these things for all these Social Security beneficiaries. As long as they're at it, why can't they just do something for SSI as well? Good question, right? And exactly what we're talking about here. So I really wanted to understand the numbers behind this and see, like, what is it really at the end of the day? How much would this really cost? It's not that much. $2.5 billion a month, $30 billion a year, obviously $300 billion over the course of a 10-year period of time. Again, that's not very much. Now, here's another thing that we want to look at when it comes to SSI. Somebody living on SSI, okay, when they get their monthly benefit, and again, I can't speak to everybody, but just understanding the numbers here and just simple economics, okay, which is somebody gets their benefit of, $967 a month. Is any of that money saved? I would highly doubt it. I highly, highly doubt it that any of that money, even a single dollar of it, is saved. I would bet the vast majority, like a huge percentage. This would be a super interesting survey, by the way. I'd be interested to know what percentage of SSI beneficiaries spend every single dollar of their monthly benefit every single month. I bet that number is extremely high, like upper 90%, if not like as close to 100% as we can possibly get. Because it's like impossible to live on $967 a month. That's what I mean. Now, here's the thing about it, which lawmakers should really think about. What do they want? They want a strong, robust economy. Okay. What do local cities, local counties, local governments want? State governments, what do they want? A strong, robust economy in their local state, in their local county, in their local cities, things like this. What's one way to do that? When people have money, they spend it, right? So my point being is that if they raised SSI benefits up to the federal poverty line, an increase of, again, from the maximum benefit, $967, up to the federal poverty line, an increase of $337 a month, where would that money go? Directly into the economy, 100%, right? I mean, maybe there would be possibly a small percentage of SSI beneficiaries that could possibly save a little bit of that money if they got an increase of $337 a month. Maybe some people could save $20, $50, maybe $100 if they're lucky, but the vast bulk of that would go right back into the economy, which is exactly what they want in the first place. So, okay, fine, it's going to cost an extra $2.5 billion a month, $30 billion a year, but guess what that is? It's an extra $2.5 billion of stimulus into the economy, an extra $30 billion a year of stimulus into the economy, because those SSI beneficiaries are going to spend that money. It's literally right where it's going. It's going right into the economy, right? So what they're really doing is they're making an investment into the people so that the people can make an investment into the economy, exactly what they want. That's exactly why they do stimulus checks, by the way, right? You've heard me talk about that about 1,000,000 times over the last 5 years. That's literally the point of stimulus checks. They give us money so that we can invest in the local economy by buying stuff, and then the money flows right back into the economy, and ultimately they get it back at the end of the day. I don't know. I mean, seriously, right? It's not that hard to figure out. Okay, so point being, coming full circle here, back to the question, again, submitted a couple days ago via email from a loyal subscriber here on the channel. By the way, thank you so much. Hope you're watching this live stream right now. If not, I'll send you the link via email when this is over, okay? That person knows who they are. But again, question being is, would they be forced to pass the SSI Restoration Act because they've done other things like the $4,000 deduction for seniors in the reconciliation bill right now, the passage of the Social Security Fairness Act back at the beginning of the year, again, sending out tons of money to beneficiaries. By the way, that one piece of legislation alone, the Social Security Fairness Act sent out $14.8 billion to 2.2 million people just in the last, call it like 3 months, okay? That's literally half of the expenditure that it would cost to give 7.4 million SSI beneficiaries a $337 raise for an entire year. That's half of the expenditure that they just sent out to 2.2 million people. Figure that one out, right? Yeah, exactly. We're talking about 7.4 million SSI beneficiaries and 2.2 million Social Security beneficiaries that literally got half the amount of that. I don't know. Just seems like a lot of money going out to a small group of people. Okay, so that's what that is. Now, the person was also asking, would they need to tax wealthy people in order to pay for this? They could, but realistically, they wouldn't need to. Reason being is the extra output on this, $2.5 billion a month, $30 billion a year, they don't really need to tax wealthy people to gather that money. They're hosing people left and right? So they don't really need to raise taxes on wealthy people. The amount of money that they would really need to generate extra would not be that much. Again, $2.5 billion a month, $30 billion extra a year to really fund this. Not that hard to figure out, right? So, yeah, that's kind of the thing there. Okay, So anyway, these are the questions that were sent out, and person wanted the kind of the feedback on this, like, hey, what's going on here, and where do we currently stand with this? Now, I want to point this out as well. What's the likelihood of the SSI Restoration Act passing this year? Well, I'm not going to put a number on it as in a percentage of likelihood. I don't really know what the percentage could be. I don't know. It's out there somewhere. I mean, the SSI Restoration Act is out there. If I had to cherry pick between all of the pieces of legislation that are out there to reform Social Security, to reform SSI, to raise benefits, to eliminate taxes, to do all these different things, there's a ton of proposals out there. Like I said earlier in the live stream, I could probably rattle off 50 names of different, probably more than that realistically. There's a ton of them that are out there of different names, bills, packages, proposals, piece of legislation, things like this that do a lot of the different things to reform Social Security. There's a ton of them that are out there. Out of all of them, if I had to cherry pick the top 3, I would say, honestly, the SSI Restoration Act is probably the number one. I've said this for years. It's a good one. It does a lot of different things. Number one, I'll just name really, really quickly here a couple of the really good provisions within it. Raise SSI benefits up to the federal poverty line. That'd be incredible for a lot of people. It removes the marriage penalty. That's a really bad one for a lot of people. It gets the marriage penalty out of there. It increases the asset levels from $2,000 as an individual and $3,000 as a married couple up to $10,000 and $20,000. Now, there's some others in there as well. Those are some really, really good ones that would help out SSI beneficiaries in a huge, huge way. Okay. Now, this one is honestly even better than the Social Security Expansion Act, which has the $200 per month raise within it. That one's decent, but honestly, it's not that great either. The Social Security 2100, which has been in the headlines lately, and John Larson is out there pounding the table on it again. I just feel like, dude, get a grip. It's not going to pass. The Social Security 2100 is a terrible piece of legislation. It's awful. I've said that before in other videos. Most of the provisions within it sunset after 5 years. It has like nothing within it. It has about a dozen provisions. The best one out of it, which is honestly not even good in the first place, is to change the way in which the COLA is calculated from the CPIW to the CPIE. It's not even that great. Honestly, it's not going to do anything for beneficiaries unless they were to do it retroactively back like 25 or 30 years ago. If they did it retroactive, then yeah, it would probably make a pretty big difference. But that's about it. So anyway, that's what it is all about. Okay, I'm going to jump into the chat here. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're joining live right now, I could sit here and go off on a rant. Well, I kind of already am. I could just sit here and just ramble forever on this kind of stuff. It's pretty interesting, but I hope that answers your questions for the person that reached out with this. I hope that answers it. If you're here, feel free to leave any comments, questions, feedback down below in the comment section. I will answer those again right now. Okay, let's get into the chat. I'll spend a little bit of time here in the chat. We can answer some questions. Let me know what you got for me, and we will do it. Okay, it's going to take me a second to get into the chat. This is always the slowest part about the whole process. Sorry about this. Okay. Okay, here we are. I'll pull up the chat. Let me know. I'll answer whatever questions you have. Okay. Larry, 100% correct. Yes, Larry. Yes, Nebraska, the first of the states. Exactly. I'm going to be fair with you. I actually filmed the video a couple days ago talking about that, and some other things came up that were more urgent. I sidelined the video. I didn't post it yet, but I'll put it out here in the next few days. Super interesting. Yeah, Nebraska is the first of about a dozen states that are doing this, and they're doing it on the national level as well. Yep, exactly. Get ready. So unbelievable. Yeah, Larry, good point. James Lara. Hey, James Lara, nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here, James. Lynn M. Gates. I don't make enough to be taxed. Exactly. That's kind of the nice thing. Well, okay. Sorry. One of the nice things about SSI, don't get me wrong, SSI is a great program. I've said it for years, though. I don't mean this to like insult anybody. The program is great. It's also very broken and it fails the beneficiary. I don't think that's like a bad thing for me to say. I don't think that's an unpopular thing to say. That's the honest truth. I think a lot of people that are on SSI saying, hey, good program, helps me out a ton, but it's also not nearly what I need. It's falling behind. It's failing me as a senior. It's failing me as a person with a disability, right? That's the situation of the program. Yep. Yeah, Susan Ryan. Hello, Susan Ryan. Nice to have you here. Hope you're doing well. Thanks, Susan, for joining us. James Lara. Do I like cupcakes? Don't really eat cupcakes. I mean, I will maybe, but I don't know. I'm not really a cake person, to be honest with you. I'm not really a cake person. Yeah. Yeah, Doris, I see you there as well. Doris, yeah, the cola is flat. Yeah, it's edging up a little bit. It certainly is coming up a little bit. Yeah. Hey, Lester, I see your comment there. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Your one message, but yeah, I see that, Lester. Thanks for reaching out. Up all night songwriter. I like it. Up all night songwriter. What are the negatives? Is that what your question? What are the negatives about COLA increases? For the most part, not a whole lot. There are a couple, though, for sure. Here's a couple different things that come to mind just off the top. First off, okay. One thing about the COLA increase is number one, anybody that is enrolled in SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, food stamps, some people call it EBT. A lot of times every year, these people, when they get a COLA raise to their benefit, they also get hammered with a reduction to their food stamps or their EBT benefits. So that's one negative. Another negative could be those seniors who are very close to the thresholds in which they would need to pay taxes on their Social Security benefit. When the COLA comes in and increases their income, as in their Social Security benefit, it edges them closer and closer to those thresholds. And each year, some seniors get pushed over the threshold where now some of their benefit is taxable. Some of their Social Security benefit is now taxable. So that's another negative as well. And another one is the Medicare Part B premium, right? Now, the reason that I say this is, have you ever noticed how the Medicare Part B premium outpaces the COLA by about double every single year? Does that seem a little suspicious to you or not? I don't know. It seems wildly suspicious to me. By the way, the projections out there right now for next year, 2026, the Medicare Part B premium, it's not set in stone yet. It's not released yet, but the projections are suggesting a 6.5% increase or a $12 per month raise. Increase. I shouldn't say it's a raise. It's an increase to your expense on the premium for Medicare Part B, right? But my point being is that I don't know. It just seems weird how when we get a COLA of 2.5% and the Medicare Part B premium goes up 5.9%, just like this year, that's literally what happened. I don't know. Just seems kind of suspicious. So it seems like, hey, whatever the COLA is, let's at least double it to get our money back. I don't know. It just seems like that's what happened. So I guess those are some of the negatives that I would say. But overall, it is pretty good. The COLA. One other thing I want to point out super fast as well. A lot of people don't realize this. The COLA starts when you're 62. So as soon as you're 62, whether you have filed for Social Security or not, you start getting the COLA. That's a pretty cool little surprise there that a lot of people don't realize. So yeah, as soon as you're eligible to get Social Security, they start applying the COLA to your benefit, even behind the scenes. Even if you wait until 67 to get it, for those 5 years from 62 to 67, you've been getting the COLA. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, Baldwin. Baldwin, I see your comment there. Talking about the chances of 1 in a trillion of something actually happening or this actually happening. I would hope that the odds would be a little bit better than that, right? I mean, if that's the odds on that thing, I mean, all day long, right? The odds on those things are like 300 million or something. So you got a significantly better chance there. Which, by the way, nope, I'm not endorsing to do that. Please don't waste your money that way. All I'm saying is just I'm just using that as a quick example. Yeah. Is it Sticks Bass? Sticks Bass, maybe? Sorry, I'm probably saying your name incorrectly. You're saying Y to billion. Are you blind? Yes, blind. Yes. Yeah, I have very minimal light perception. I can see bright lights sometimes, a lot of the times, not even really at all. So yeah, that's what it is. So yeah. Yeah, Florence getting $680 from SSI. That's really tough right there. Yeah. I hope you're taking advantage of some of the other programs that are out there for the low income. There's a bunch of them, but yes, I would anticipate with an income at that 680 from SSI that yeah, you're certainly getting some assistance in other places because that's like practically impossible. April from Washington State. April, awesome. Thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate you. Thank you, April, for checking in. Thank you. Nice. Decades of Music Time Machine. Hello. Hope you're doing well. Nice to see you as always. Hope you're having a nice day. Thanks for being here. Ryan Anderson. Ryan Anderson. Really good question. Ryan Anderson is saying, myself and my daughter are on SSI. Your wife is the caregiver for your daughter. Will your wife need to work in order to get food stamps? If the rules change? That's a really good question. Okay. Uh, Considering, well, your wife, I may need to think about that one for a little while, okay? Reason being is there's kind of a lot of moving parts. Remember, the new rule on food stamps, I mean, you know this, they're considering a dependent under the age of 6. Under the age of 6. That'd be really, really rough right there. So, considering you're on SSI and your daughter's on SSI, I would think that you would still be eligible, right? That's just kind of how it works with that. So, and your wife being the caregiver, I may need to spend a little bit more time thinking about that. I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? I'm gonna say you're probably good. That's just my opinion, just kind of off the cuff here, thinking about it. But I kind of want to give that some more thought on that one, if that's okay, Ryan. But yeah, that I think considering your situation, you'd be good because of the SSI. That's why, right? Because you and your daughter are on SSI, I think you'd probably be good in that instance, right? Yeah. Plus, the whole work deal, the work requirements are just focused on able-bodied adults without dependents. That's what that comes down to. So you've got a couple outs in this situation, right? The SSI eligibility for you, yourself, and your daughter, and then the income thresholds. You're good there. Obviously, if you're on SSI, your income is certainly within the lines of doing that. Yeah, I think you'd probably be good if that makes sense. But again, I want to spend a little more time thinking about that, if that's okay. Nice. Gil Garcia. Hello. Nice to see you here, Gil Garcia. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. Yes. Susan Ryan. Yep. Okay. So I'm not seeing like a ton of comments. I'll go back down to the bottom of the chat here for a second and just see, but I'm kind of scrolling up in the chat. Not a ton of questions necessarily, just kind of a lot of Just chat messages. Yeah, Alan, exactly. Every year we get a small COLA raise, which is actually more harmful than good. That's, yeah, unfortunately the situation for a lot of people. Obviously not everybody, not every single time, but yeah, a lot of times that is kind of the situation. Nice. Linda Profinger. Hello, Linda. Nice to see you as always. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us, Linda. Thank you. Nice. The Lone Stranger. Is that what it is? Yeah, The Lone Stranger. Thank you. The Lone Stranger. Thank you. Glad that you enjoy my shirt. That's awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Ralph Angel, you're saying, what is DAC? Did you see that in the chat somewhere? I'm kind of curious where you saw that. Laura Shatley, I see you there as well. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. Yep, just kind of going through the chat here. I'm not seeing a ton here as far as questions. Julie and our baby girl Bella. Yeah, Julie and our baby girl Bella. Awesome. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Matthew Bracy. Hello. Nice to see you as always. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, B, I see you there. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Nice. Deborah Chapman checking in. Deborah Chapman. Hope you're doing well. Nice to see you, Deborah. Thanks for joining. Oh, nice. Hey, Up All Night songwriter, Bruce. Hey, I was wondering if it was you. I saw your name there and I thought, God, that sounds a lot like Bruce. Hey, nice to see you, Bruce. Hope you're doing well. You're incredibly generous. Thank you so much, Bruce. Very, very kind. Yeah. Thank you so much, Bruce. But yeah, yeah, so Bruce is talking about the 130 plus billion dollars that you're saying is going towards Social Security. I'm thinking that you're referring to the video that I had out a couple days ago, where I was talking about the Treasury raking in 850 billion in receipts. That's nuts. Just in the month of April, nearly $1 trillion coming into the Treasury. So that's incredible right there. But then Social Security in the month of April as well paid out $132 billion to beneficiaries. So it's not necessarily fresh money coming into Social Security, but rather the Treasury came in, they collected $850 billion in tax revenues just in April. Meanwhile, Social Security, the number one line item of expenditures, $132 billion was sent out just in the month of April to Social Security beneficiaries. That's what that's all about. So, point being behind all of this is that Social Security is massive. I mean, obviously, it's huge. We all recognize this, right? But the sheer power behind this, 132 billion a month is how much they're sending out to beneficiaries. That's incredible. That is 1.5 plus trillion. I'm trying to add it up as I talk right now. 1.5 trillion plus dollars a year that goes out to beneficiaries. This is by far the largest expenditure out of the federal government. Next being interest, about $1 trillion. Defense, again, about $1 trillion. It's nuts. It's nuts. That's what that's all about. But yeah, Bruce, so nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Yeah. Yeah, Spitfire Red. Nice to see you. I like the name. That's awesome. Thank you for being here. Terry, not quite sure what your question is, but looks like you're talking about SSI and why does it vary so much? All the benefits vary quite a bit as far as how much somebody could get. For example, let me throw this out there super fast. The minimum benefit somebody can get on Social Security is a little over $50 a month. Could you imagine that? What an insult. $50 a month? That's the minimum somebody can get. Meanwhile, the maximum is $5,108. That's incredible, right? Could you imagine that? The minimum being 50, maximum being 5,108. That's a huge difference in benefits. So yeah, there's benefit amounts of every single dollar amount between that range for all the beneficiaries. I mean, 60 million retirees that are getting retirement benefits. Yeah, across the board. Melissa, I see you there. You're saying, can you please read from above? I'm getting there. Sorry. Thank you. Kind of slow. Sorry, Melissa. Linda Proffinger, hello. Thank you so much for the nice message. That's so awesome. I appreciate the kind messages. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, James McKenzie, so nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. Nice to have you, James McKenzie. James Lara, yep, SSDI. James Lara saying, are you on disability just like me? SSDI benefits, yep, exactly. Nice. Deborah Chapman. Deborah Chapman saying, I always give you a like, but they only allow one like per person. Yeah, that's how it goes. Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate it. Tina Tenniswood, is that what it is? You're saying that you have lupus, you have no feeling in your hands. That would be really rough. I'm curious, how long have you been experiencing that? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know like anything about that. I'm just being real with you right now. Okay, I certainly don't know everything at all, but I'm just kind of curious. Like, how long have you been experiencing that? That's really rough. Bredel. I'm probably saying your name incorrectly. I apologize. Bredel, Breddel, I think it is. Bredel. Yeah, I see your comment there about getting a work injury and becoming permanently disabled in your 50s. That's, again, really a tough situation. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate you. Thank you for watching and reaching out. 100% agree. The Lone Stranger saying there's too much hatred toward people on Social Security. Totally agree with you, right? It just seems very odd how that's kind of the theme lately. It just seems very weird. Robert, how many people are there collecting survivors? Good question. I don't know the number off the top of my head at the moment. It's not very many, a few million. That's about it. It's honestly not that many. Like, it could be like 2 or 3 million. It's honestly not that much. I saw the statistic earlier this year, maybe like in February I saw it. It was not very many, couple million, just really not that many at all. But yeah, Robert. Thank you. Lynn M. Gates. Yeah, exactly. Stay healthy. Thank you. Very kind of you. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. Lester, I see that. You're saying, if I'm truly for the people, my topics should be VA versus Social Security. Okay, I can certainly do that. I appreciate the suggestion. I can certainly make a video about that. Yeah. Which, by the way, just quick side note, a lot of the videos, VA is included with what I talk about. Just saying. Yep. But I appreciate the idea. Seriously, I was looking for something. Thank you. Deborah Chapman waving her hands all around. Thank you. James Lara, I see you there as well. Thank you for the comments. Appreciate it. Nice. Lynn M. Gates. Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you for your positive vibrations, you say. Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate your support. Thanks for the nice message. The Lone Stranger. Where are all the SSDI lobbyists in Congress? Good question. I don't think there is such a thing. Yeah, good question right there. You're looking at us right now. We are the lobbyists. Seriously, there's like nobody, right? Who is it? I'd like somebody to point that group out to us. There's like nobody out there, right? There's why though? I mean, here's the thing. Why would there be no lobbyists? Because here's the thing. What do lobbyists want? Money. Do SSDI and fixed income beneficiaries have a bunch of money that they can support the lobbyists to do all that work and, to get the lawmakers to do something? Not really. Therefore, no lobbyists, right? Yeah, it's crazy. Betty J. Gilliam, I think it is. I see your comment there. Yep, that's not what this video is about. Not talking about that at all. But yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Doris Davis, I see your comment there as well. Thanks for joining. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate you. Thank you, Doris. Yeah, Tina Tenniswood, I see you there again. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Melissa, if you're still hanging around here, I'm looking for your comment. I don't see it quite yet. I've gone up quite a bit here. Matthew Bracey. Hello, Matthew Bracey. Thank you. Appreciate it. Again, Lester, I see your comments. I'm going up into the older comments here, looking for just comments, things like that. But Lester, I still see your messages there. VA versus Social Security. Good suggestion. Thank you. I can certainly do that. Boston. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks for joining us. I like the name Boston. That's great. Yeah, Boston. Thanks for the nice message. That's very kind of you. Brandon Calhoun. Stay tuned. Let me keep you posted on that. Things are changing rapidly. Let's just, yeah, good question. Let's focus on that again soon. Is it Elsa Bullet, maybe? Elsa from Brooklyn, New York? Hey, if I'm saying your last name incorrectly, I apologize. Sorry about that. But Elsa, I see you there. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. Nice. Kit Kat. So nice to see you as always. Awesome. Thanks for being here, Kit Kat. I appreciate it. Nice to have you. James Lara, again, I see you there as well. Thanks, James. Always nice to have you around. Thank you. Steve Dallin. So our SSI benefits going up. As of right now, not quite, but I was talking about some questions that I received via email from somebody here in the community a couple of days ago, and I wanted to really highlight that in a dedicated live stream. So, yeah. Nice. Linda Provencher, exactly. Thank you so much. You have a nice evening as well. Thanks for being here. Okay, let's leave it at that for now. I think I answered most of them. Again, if I missed your comment, I apologize. I certainly did not do that on purpose. Just doing my best here to get to as many as I can. All right, anyway, this got a little bit longer than I wanted it to. I apologize about that, but I enjoy hanging out in the comment section, answering questions, things like that for you, whatever I can. I'll do what I can for you here, but again, the whole premise of this video here, this live stream, was to answer a question that I received via email a couple days ago from a loyal subscriber here on the channel who reached out talking about all the different changes out of Social Security, what lawmakers have done so far this year for Social Security beneficiaries, and then what about SSI? Are they going to be forced to do something there because fair is fair? Should they do something for SSI as well? Now, they should. Do they have to? The answer is no, they don't have to. Should they? Yes. Ethically, should they? Yes. Does SSI need to be changed? Yes. Is SSI falling behind? Yes. Is SSI broken? Yeah. Is SSI well below the federal poverty line? Yep. We discussed all of that right here in this live stream. All right, anyway, if you're just joining right now, the best thing I would say to do is scroll back, watch the first, 10 minutes. That's it. You don't need to watch the whole thing. I'm just being fair with you. Watch the first 10 minutes. I talked about the subject matter there, and then I got into the chat and we talked about, all kinds of stuff in the chat. So just check that out there. That's about it. Otherwise, please have a nice evening. Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate all of you. If you haven't done so, if you're new here, please consider subscribing if you want. If you don't want to, that's totally fine too. That's okay. I totally get it. But either way, I appreciate your support. Please have a nice evening. Thanks for being here. And yeah, I'll catch you again later in the next video. All right. Let me know what else you got for me. Leave a comment, whatever you have, and I'll just do my best to get to as many as I can. All right. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll catch you again later. All right. See ya. Someone unplug. What do I do?
Are you sure you want to stop streaming?
Yeah. All right. I'll see you later.